Joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline is a young man who just returned from playing in the US Open. Rhett Rasmussen, representing BYU Golf, one of 20 amateurs to tee it up at Shinnecock Hills in the Long Island area of New York. Rhett, welcome back to BYU Sports Nation.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
How would you describe your experience playing at the US Open?
Man, it was pretty crazy. You know, I mean, that's really probably the biggest tournament I've ever played. So, I mean, there was a lot of people and, you know, but it was just awesome for sure.
Were you nervous? Were you excited? Like, what were the emotions before the opening round?
You know, honestly, I wouldn't say I was too nervous. I mean, there was obviously a little bit of nerves, but yeah, just a lot of excitement, you know, to tee up with some of the biggest names in golf. You know, it was really cool.
How many times have you had a gallery that obviously didn't come close to that, but how many times have you had a gallery where you're like, okay, I better not spray it to the right because there's someone right there?
I mean, I've had a gallery a few times, but yeah, nothing like, you know, 10 people deep lining each fairway.
Rhett Rasmussen with us on BYU Sports Nation, just played in the US Open. What was your welcome to a PGA Tour major moment, Rhett?
Yeah, probably going right to the player hospitality tent and probably sitting down right next to Jordan Spieth.
What's going through your mind in that moment?
I don't know, it was like kind of surreal, you know, because I've seen him on TV so much and, you know, all the big guys, and then you're like right there, and it's just pretty crazy to, you know, actually be right with them.
Are any of these guys bigger, smaller, nicer? Like, did anything surprise you in your interactions with them?
You know, I not too much. I mean, I did notice that, you know, a lot of them look, I don't know. I mean, pretty close to what I thought. But, you know, a lot of the guys are really strong out there that you don't notice on TV. They don't look super big, but, you know, they're definitely pretty strong guys.
Your first round, you go 10 over, and then your second round, I believe you went 4 over. So what changed from day 1 to 2 for you?
The first day was a lot harder, a lot windier, you know, and I kind of got off to a rough start. I had a little bit of nerves, you know, I wasn't really playing my game, but, you know, time the second round, I started to get more into the flow of things, so was able to play a little bit better.
You had a birdie in the second round. What was that hole like for you?
Yeah, I had a birdie. Pretty good to get my first birdie. It shouldn't have taken, honestly, like 28 holes like it did, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
What was more successful on that particular hole? And it's at a major, man. It was not weird. And it happened while we were on the air, by the way. So we're talking to Bruce Brockbank, and we said, and Rhett just birdied. And Bruce was like, yes, sweet. So what was that hole like to actually knock in a birdie?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, I had to hit, I hit it to like 30 feet, you know, so I had to make a pretty long putt, and you know, it was pretty relieving to finally get that birdie. I definitely didn't want to go birdieless over 2 days.
Tony Finau was a guide to you of sorts. What was the best advice he gave you before you teed off?
Honestly, he just told me to kind of play my own game, you know, because you've seen a lot of guys, you know, the best players in the world making a ton of birdies, and, you know, you can't let that get frustrating to you. So really just kind of try to play my own game and not really focus on anybody else.
Rhett, what were some of the lessons you learned from this that will help you next season at BYU and hopefully in the future as a pro?
Please, some lessons, probably just staying patient, you know. I mean, you get off to a rough start and you just get so frustrated so easily, but you watch some of those great players and, you know, they got off to pretty bad starts too, but, you know, over the next 2 days, they really just, you know, didn't affect them and they were able to play pretty good.
What were your nerves like on the first tee box when they call your name and you go and tee up your ball?
Oh man, that was a pretty crazy moment. You know, it's like you always watch it on TV, you know, calling the names, and then it's like, man, this is my name in the US Open. So, but you know, just have to calm yourself down and, you know, hit the tee shot.
Maybe we were more nervous than you because we were stoked you got to the U.S. Open. And, Rhett, this has been a banner year for BYU men's golf, obviously getting the at-large to the regional, making it to the championships, Patrick Fishburne continuing on there. Do you feel like you can hold the number one individual accomplishment, though, over Patrick as his teammate? Hey, I played in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's been a great year for us. And, you know, obviously this is individual, not with the team, but you know, we did a lot of a lot of things with the team all year that kind of help you get to this point, for sure.
Rhett Rasmussen with us on BYU Sports Nation, 19 years young, just played in the US Open. What's the next step in your development as a golfer?
Next step is just a lot of amateur stuff and just trying to qualify for your next PGA event that can hopefully break you through to the next level. But, unfortunately, playing the US Open, it doesn't get you immediately on the PGA Tour. So just got to keep trying.
All right, let's get a couple of quick hitters before we get off the phone with you. What was the best shot you hit on the course in New York?
I hit a chip from I'd say on the first hole I hit a wedge shot to about 1 foot from about 150 yards. So that was pretty good.
Peter Quest was like, that was almost as good as my
double eagle. And what's the one shot you wish you could have back?
Probably on the third hole. Let's see, Tiger walked right in front of me and was watching my drive, hooked it into the crap. So that was definitely one of the more forgettable shots.
When you see Tiger, does something happen emotionally where you're like, oh my gosh, that's Tiger Woods?
Sorry, say that again?
When you saw Tiger, did that affect your drive?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because one of the holes looped in front of us, so he was, they were all watching, and there was a ton of people, and kind of let it get to me too much, but it was pretty sweet.
Rhett, we're thrilled for you. Congratulations on a fantastic individual year and the success as a BYU golf team. We look forward to great things ahead, man. Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you guys. See you later.
Thanks, Rhett.
Rhett Rasmussen on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, your values, your timeline, your financial future.